Welcome back everyone to Blender 4, the Environment Artist Guide, and this is where we left it off. Now, I don't really need to explain much of the Asset Manager because hopefully you watched that short tutorial. So what we'll do now is we'll first of all come up and bring in our Asset Manager, so Asset Manager space. And then what I'm going to do is, at the moment it's on current file, that's exactly what I want it on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on my human, so I've got my human here, go over to the right hand side. We might as well pull this down a little bit for this part here. And then all I'm going to do is press the dot button, and that then will take me straight to human 1.8 meters. From there then I can right click and I can mark as asset, and there we go. Here is my actual human. Now you'll notice it comes in like that. As we discussed, if I press Ctrl Z just to get him off, let's press Ctrl A, all transforms, right click, set origin to geometry, and let's see if it comes in any better now. So mark as asset, and there we go. He's in looking much better. Now from here, what we want to do, we want to come to our tree. Same thing again, right click, mark as asset, bring in our tree. There's our tree. And then the final two ones we want to do are these two here. So I'm going to grab both of them. So these are, one is the roof geometry node and the other one is the planks. And what I'm going to do is press the little dot button, right click, mark as asset. And there is our roof and there is our planks. Now let's come in and make some actual names here. So what I'm going to do is where it says plus, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to call this, let's call it human. Let's give it another one then. So I'll click plus and we'll call this one geometry nodes. And I'm also going to save this out as well. So save as, and let's, this is the resource pack. I'm also going to save it here. So I'm going to call it Victorian course. And I'll just call it resource pack so we know where we are. Like so. And there we go. We're saved out. Now we can come in. We've got geometry nodes. We just need our tree now. So click it again. I'm going to put tree. Like so. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to where it says all, and you can see them in here. I'm going to grab my guy, drop him in the human one, and then I'm going to grab my geometry nodes. I'm going to drop those into the geometry nodes like so. And then I'm going to grab my tree and I'm going to put my tree in there. Now, I don't think that we actually need this tree bark here. I'm not even sure why that's there. I think it's just a material that's been put in there, but we're going to put it in somewhere good anyway after this. I don't actually think we need it. So what I'm going to do is just clear that asset. All right, so now if I come to geometry nodes, we have them there, human we have there, and tree we have in there. So they're all looking good. Now let's create one more, and we'll call this materials. And within here then, we want to have all of our materials like our roofs, backdrops, metals, things like that. So we need to make sure now that we're putting these in the right one. So we'll do this a little step at a time. First of all, though, I want to come in and get some names of these. So what I want to do is I want to call this floor. And then want to name another one. So I'm clicking the plus where the materials is because that means then I can open and close this. So the next one I'm going to do is going to be truck. Like so, and then I'm going to do another plus and we'll do cloth, and let's go back to that. Okay, asset manager, it's called assets. There we go, source list. I clicked that off. I didn't even know I did that, but we'll double click it, and then what we'll put in is cloth, like so, and then we'll come and click the little plus again, and this time we'll have glass. So we basically need to make all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually come back once I've created all of these. So I'm going to create all of these ones going around here, and I want you to do the same, please. All right, so now they're all named. You should have them all on here. It means that you can close that up if you want to, or open it up if you need to. So now what you can see is we've got a little star here telling us that we need to save out this file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File and Save. Last of all then, I'm actually going to move this file now into its own file. So now you can see our resource pack is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a new folder, and I'll call it Course Resource Pack. And I'm going to do this because it's going to make it much easier for us to use this within our scene. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one and this one, and I'm going to drop those into my course resource pack. Now I can delete all of these. Any in white means it's just a temporary save, so you can actually delete those out of the way if you want to. Leaving in there this actual TXT file, which is very, very important because all that data then will be used by Blender to set out these what we've actually made. So now when I save it, I can go to File, Save As, and I just want to make sure then Course Resource Pack, I'm saving it in here. So now every time I save it, it's all in there. All right, so now we can actually move on. And what we want to do is we want to pull this up now because we're not going to need this. We want to click on my floor. I'm actually going to put my materials on. It's going to take a little bit of time to load them up because it's a lot of shaders, but it's going to make it much easier to actually distinguish between the actual shaders if we do this. So here we are, they're all loaded up. Now if we come over to the right hand side, over to our materials panel over here, we can see we've got our first one, which is floor. If we come up and click on, come down and click to unassigned, you can see nothing in there at the moment. But if I come, right click, and what I'm going to do is mark as asset, you can see that we end up with our floor in there. Now this is not this object or anything like that, it's just a material, meaning now I can come and drag and drop this onto something, which is really, really great because in our own scene that we're going to be creating, we can just drag and drop all of these materials. Now, of course, within the actual course, you will find out how we put these materials together. That will be something that we will go through, but for now, let's just get the basics of getting the materials in there. Okay, so the next two then, we need to get our rubber, so mark as asset, and our leather, mark as asset. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my floor over to where it says floor. So let's drag and drop in, drag both of these, and we're going to put them into our truck. So they're going to come over to our truck. Now we're going to go to our cloth. So I'm going to right click, mark as asset, right click, mark as asset. And then all I'm going to do is drag both of these now over to my cloth, which is up here. So I'm just going to drag and drop them in there. Then I'm going to come over to the glass. Now the bad thing is that we just can't come in. We have to come in individually. So mark as asset, and just quickly do that, like so. And then we have them all in here. Now these are going to be glass, so all I'm going to do is grab all of my glass, and I'm going to drag and drop them in there like so, and there they all are. Not sure about some of these, yeah, it does, it actually works. Why they aren't loaded up yet, maybe it's just taking a little bit of time to do that. All right, so the next one we've got is metal. And what I'm going to do from now, I'm going to just select all of these and drop them into all of these. So I think you've got the idea now. So I'll be back when I've actually done that. So here we are, guys. I've got everything in here now. Backdrops, clay, cloth, curtains. I'm just going to quickly go down and making sure that I've got all of these in here on every single one. And that then should be done. So now we can actually close that up. We've got materials. This is on materials now. We've got our tree. We've got our human, and we've got geometry nodes. And now we can actually go over and file and save that out of the way. Now, I don't think we'll actually have to come back to this anymore. So we can actually close that down now, and everything can be done from our actual scene now. So let's just come in, make sure it's saved out first, close it down. All right, so within our scene, what we want to do now is we want to go to plus, we want to go to general and bring in asset manager. So here it is. And then what we're going to do now is at the moment you can see it's on current file, which is what we don't need. What we want to have it on is to go to that file where we actually put it. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go to edit, preferences, file paths. And now you can see asset library, user library. We don't really want it on user library, so we can minus that off. And then what we can pick on is the plus. And now we just need to find course resource pack. I think, is it under there? Yes, it's under here. So what I'm going to click is add asset library. And let's click this off. And now we can come to course resource pack. And here we are. Here is all our materials. Now, the great thing is now I can come in, select this on. Let's say I want blue cloth on there. I can actually drop the blue cloth on there. Let's say I want my wood floor on there, something like that. I can bring, drag, and drop them in. Really, really handy. It's set up really, really nicely now. So again, let's just go through that just one more time because I know people sometimes get a bit muddled up about this. All we want to do is we just want to select our course resource pack. So we're just going to click the minus button. I'm going to bring it in again now. So I'm going to click the plus. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. and you can see our course resource pack is here. You're just going to click that on, and then you're going to click add asset library, and there we go. Now it's there. You can close that down then, and from there then, all you want to do is put it on course resource pack, and now you've actually got all of those in. Now every single time we come now back to our asset manager, this is going to be open for us. The other great thing is as well, you can see that we've got geometry nodes here. Whenever we need to bring a roof in, we can just bring that in now. So I'm just going to press tab just because I had it on edit mode, and I can bring in my roof, and from there now I can actually bring it in and actually move it around like so, and come in then and mess around with my tiles. Now obviously at the moment this looks a bit funky because of the light. Don't worry about that, we'll sort that out. But at the moment it's just showing you what we can do. If we want to bring planks in, we can also bring those in really easily. Same for our human as well, we can bring him in like so. Alright everyone, so I hope you found that really handy. And on the next lesson, we can finally actually start creating our actual building. The first one we're going to start creating is going to be the coffee shop, because that one is actually the most simple out of them all. All right, everyone. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.